I am so excited to have Ellen Contardi, President and Volunteer Extraordinaire of Waves of Change for Autism, with us today on our latest episode of the Breakthrough Autism podcast. Ellen, welcome.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for having me.
I'm so thrilled to have you here to share the wonderful work that Waves of Change for Autism does within the Vaughan community to help support children and families with autism. It's truly remarkable, and to share that journey and that story. So, how about we start with you sharing what is Waves of Change for Autism? What do you guys do? What are you all about?
Okay, so Waves of Changes for Autism is a nonprofit charity that was established in 2016. And what sets us apart, I think, is that we help families directly, financially, to offset some of their specialized therapies and programs and treatments. I would still say we're a grassroots organization, but we are growing exponentially and very proud of the work we've done so far.
Amazing. And such an inspiration actually to so many people in the community, including myself.
Thank
I've
you.
watched the growth of the organization, and most importantly, what you guys do in terms of touching the families directly. This is something that is really remarkable and also really fills an important need in the community to recognize that autism, impacts families in many different ways, and families are looking to access treatment and other forms of support within the communities, and it can be really tough. And you guys are here stepping up
And that's
as a
what we're here
community
for,
to do just
to try to
remarkable.
help in whatever capacity we can.
Yeah. So who gets to access these services? How does that work
Well,
for
this
families?
charity is for it services Vaughan, and it's children 13 years of age and under, and they must have a diagnosis, a medical diagnosis of autism. And you know, we've had to date, we have actually funded 317 eligible applications, and we have raised close to $1.4 million. So this is like incredible leaps we've had in over just 8 short years. We're in our 8th year. Um, it speaks to the need. I believe our community is extremely generous, and I think that they truly believe that, helping families directly, um, they just come on board. They're more than happy to help. We have so many corporate sponsors that truly believe in the work we do. Um, we host events to garner these funds so that we can help these families. And one thing I'll have to be very frank is we're very proud of. We have not left one eligible application behind. So not one child that was eligible has been refused. So that's our big goal in this charity is to always be able to help each and every eligible application that comes across our table. So that's
Amazing.
speaks to the work that our volunteer this I can go on and on. Our team is incredible. I have a wonderful team that I get to work alongside with. They bring so much to this organization. um, I couldn't do it without them. I really couldn't.
And these are all volunteers,
We're
right?
all volunteers. No one is financially compensated in this organization.
Amazing. And so for the community to be donating the funds that they are, and what you've raised in 8 years is remarkable. It, really speaks to the value that people see in the community and people believe in waves of changes. And that's why they're contributing, right? They know the impact that this is making directly to families. This is even beyond Vaughn. I will say I've, reflected and I've watched the organization over the years. And what one of the things that I've thought many times is that this can really act as a blueprint for other communities too. And the remarkable thing here is that not only have you committed to an important vision and improving the lives of children and their families within a given community, it's the direct impact that it makes, right? Is that people know that when they're contributing to waves of changes, that they are actually directly contributing to a child and their and then there's the ripple effect because that then supports the family and then even more so take it one step further, it supports the community because when a child succeeds within a community we all succeed, right? And for people to really believe and get behind something in 8 short years, and that you haven't left a child behind, it speaks to what is actually being delivered. What you guys are really doing, you're touching the community. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, that's probably one of our biggest, proudest moments that we haven't left a child behind. You know, we have been approached by other communities, if we could have another chapter in Richmond Hill, or could we have a chapter in Peel, or you know, our team is such a dedicated and focused team that we don't have the resources, the time, but if anybody is interested in doing something along that line, we'd be more than happy to help them out. Um, but our goal is directed in Vaughan, and there's a lot of need in Vaughan. Every year our applications grow and grow. So we need to grow and grow as well and bring in more and more funds. And so we're always out there in the community asking for help.
So Ellen, you guys run all sorts of wonderful events throughout the year to help raise funds to directly impact families. Can you tell me a bit about these wonderful events that you run?
Yes, actually, we have a few events. One is a ladies' event, which is a sip and savor, which we host in May. And that's just an event where it's at Copper Creek. And what we do is we just women mingling and networking and a fun girls' night out. We also have a golf tournament coming up that also is at Copper Creek, May 24th. And this is our first golf tournament. So the ladies event we've had in the past, this will be our first golf tournament, but our major event is our gala, and that gala is in September, and it's September 21st this year at the Terrace Banquet Hall. And our galas are a platform for children on the spectrum. So, what we do is we give these children a platform where they can showcase their crafts, and the the guests love it. So we have our master of ceremony, which is our ambassador. He does the emceeing for the whole night, Stefano DiCecco, and then we have Clarissa Butterazzi, which is a young artist, and she's on the spectrum, but she's also our ambassador, and she's also the inspiration behind all our artwork for our charity. And then we have children coming in like Robbie, which is a musician, and he performs, and he's spectacular. Um, we felt that these children don't have enough platforms to showcase their abilities. It's always, we talk about disabilities, but we need to showcase their abilities. So we feel as an organization that this gala is for these children. So this is what we do at the gala. And it's a lovely event where people can actually see um, the progress these children make, and also perhaps not all of them are at these levels, but it also gives hope to some families to, keep pushing forward, keep doing what they're doing. So it's a win-win for everybody, I think.
Absolutely. And for people that may be watching, I do want to give a shout out to your social media, your website, Waves of Changes for Autism. If people are interested in learning more about these events, where can
Absolutely.
they go?
Well, on the website, they can go directly to Waves of Changes for Autism. Our social media, on Instagram, we're on Um, Twitter, again, Waves of Changes for Autism. They can reach us directly, send us a message. Our website is designed so you can leave an email if you want to, chat about any of the events that are coming up. And
And you can see a bit on the social media. You get a bit of a flavor for what these events are all about, and they're just beautiful in terms of the community coming together.
yeah, we try to engage our community through social media so that they see um, current things that are coming up. And actually, I did want to mention one in particular. I know that a lot of these children love McHappy Day. And in Woodbridge, we have the Garber family. So not only does he host McHappy Day at his restaurants and gives back to Ronald McDonald Charities, he has also chosen Waves of Changes to support at McHappy Day. So that's, another collaboration between these organizations and Waves is it's wonderful. We can't be any more grateful.
Yeah, amazing. And it goes back to being able to not turning away any eligible applicants, right? It's the community
So
being behind
yeah,
all of
we
this.
we try to engage the community more and more each year because our applications are growing, and we need to make sure that we have enough funds there to help these families.
Absolutely.
Life with autism is difficult. You know that, Nancy. And we're here to perhaps lessen the burden somehow
Yeah.
if we can. And, try to help these children be the
Yes.
best possible child that they can be.
Absolutely. And I really love that your events are centered around showcasing individuals on the spectrum. I know, Ellen, you and the organization as a whole, everyone is committed to that. That's the authentic roots of the organization. And what you spoke to, I think, is really important for people who may be watching to hear is that it's showcasing their wonderful talents and strengths, but also recognizing that there was progress to getting there, right? And this isn't just something that just happens magically overnight. That kids and young adults and adults work hard to get to where they are. Their families support them too, and it's important to recognize that. And the other piece that's really beautiful about these events, what you mentioned, to really emphasize that it gives people hope too, right? To see what's possible when individuals are supported, they work hard, and then certainly that deserves to be celebrated.
And just to know that, these families know that we're here for you. We have, you're part of this community. So you have people behind you.
Yes. So the idea of community inclusiveness is so important. It also, I think, raises awareness as well. People. It's an experience. It touches people to say, you know, autism can look really different,
Oh,
across
absolutely.
the
Such a
spectrum.
wide
It's
spectrum.
such a
Yeah,
wide spectrum, and it's an opportunity to be at an event within a community to have those conversations. Families can network, professionals can come, and everyday community, everybody's open, everybody's welcome to these events.
absolutely. We welcome everyone. And I think that, it's the old adage is it takes a village. It
Yes,
really does. It really does. So we all need to work together. And I think that that's how these families and children can succeed.
absolutely. I'm
I'll tell you, the city of Vaughan is very dedicated to inclusion, and our past mayor and our present mayor both are very, very supportive of this cause and this charity, and they help us out a lot with moving this organization forward and being inclusive. And
yeah,
we have a very kind community.
yeah,
We really do. A very generous, kind
very much.
community. We're very blessed.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the blue. I think, certainly I can appreciate you guys are very focused on Vaughn, and that's important because that takes a village, even within that community. But it's an inspiration to others that can look at this to say this is possible in other communities too, when you have a core team that can, rally around something that's meaningful, and then you engage the community. So it's even beyond your volunteers within Waves of Changes. It's the mayor. It's
Oh, yes, it's corporate, organization. Yes, absolutely. Um, this year, TD is going to be our presenting sponsor, and they have been very instrumental in helping us throughout the years. So, without these organizations, we couldn't do what we're doing. So, we're extremely grateful to all these people.
absolutely.
I can go on and on. The list is so long, but we're just so blessed with the amount of help that we can garner in this community. They're just so great.
And then you have people purchasing the tickets and, like,
Our
the
guests,
grassroots,
yes, the
right?
donations, the guests that
Yeah.
attend, it all comes together, and this is where, that's the success that we're looking for,
Yeah.
right? Um, our team works passionately. They really do.
Mhm.
We have a wonderful team. I'm proud to work along them. I'm proud to work with these two ambassadors. We have Robbie on board now. Stefan is another young gentleman that's helping us as well. It's wonderful to see.
Yeah.
And yet, when these children started, they had very bleak,
Yeah.
you know, um, progress that was going to happen,
Yeah.
and yet they defied all odds, and uh, they're amazing today. You
And
know,
it's all that those step it's actually really what you guys fund that helps kids get to that stage, right? You're very committed to, I know, like, evidence-based treatments, therapies, that go to support the kids'
it's
growth,
all
right?
evidence-based therapies that we
Amazing.
support, and I'll tell you, if we can even help a child with a few extra speech therapy classes, where that one morning they'll wake up and say, Mama, things we take for granted, as we're parents, Nancy, and we take things for granted, but some children need occupational therapy. We tie our shoes, we zip up our coats, we don't even think about it. And if these children can even grasp some of those skills,
Yes.
that's like a huge milestone. So we have to celebrate all these things with these children.
And as a behavior analyst, I'm so grateful that ABA is also in that umbrella. That there's a number of there's recognition of the spectrum. You've got SLP, OT, ABA, and you're really, and you're open to whatever can serve in an evidence based way.
Exactly. And I'll tell you, we had one application that came across the table. It was for a car seat. And this mom was very, very distraught because every time she got in the car, her child wasn't able to sit in the car. And that's a safety issue. So our group that looks after approving all the applications, she said, look, it's something that we've never done before, but safety first. So this mom was so grateful that she was able to, get this car seat provided to her. Um, and now she can take her child and be safe and know that she can drive and not worry, like,
Yeah,
again, it's things that we take for granted, Nancy,
absolutely.
that these families are struggling with, and wherever we can help, we help.
And you do it, like, you're committed to funding things that are really meaningful. The car seat example is a really profound
Well, we
one.
have to look at it, each
Yeah,
year,
that's right.
because things come up that
Yeah.
perhaps we haven't come across. And we have a lovely lady that works with sick kids, and she does a lot of the vetting.
Mhm.
And she says, like, things will come up, and we need to assess them yearly,
Yeah,
move forward. So
that's
it
great.
does change, but it is always evidence based
That's amazing.
therapies. And I'm not discrediting other, therapies, because that may work, but we've decided to go with this plan. And Nancy, like we are not a center, we're not a school, we don't offer any of these
That's
programs,
right.
nor do we endorse anything. So they come to us and ask for funding. There's an application process that they go through, that they have to meet, and then we turn around, and once they're pre-approved, then they also have to send us their paid
Yeah.
invoices. So it's not like we're just giving money away. There's a whole process that goes with that. So
I really like that again because if you look at it from also the donor side, they know that they really that their contributions are really going to something that is very meaningful and has that direct impact. The other thing that I love about your organization is that it's really driven by family choice, so that it's really empowering to the families to say, okay, we're not going to dictate who you go to or what that piece is up to you. We can put some parameters on in terms of
I think it's just Ontario. I think that she has it set up so that it's services provided in Ontario.
yeah, which is very reasonable, and you're looking again to impact community members of Vaughan, which is wonderful. But to allow the family, to be able to determine which potential provider or whatnot may work best for them.
Yes, as long as it's a recognized and a reputable organization, yes, absolutely. You know, like I said, the lady that vets, she looks into every single organization. She keeps on top of that.
Great. I think all of those important, meticulous pieces actually, again, speak to the success of the organization. So if we take it back a step 8 years ago, why Waves of Changes? How did this start? Where did this come from, this wonderful organization?
Well, you know what? It was founded by families that were affected by autism, parents, and they had approached myself and one of the other board members, which was Laura Dana at the time, and asked us to take this on, and we did, and we just ran with it. And from the first event, we were able to. I think it was so successful, Nancy. We didn't know what to expect. So we thought, let's try, let's see how it goes. We had over 500 people at our first event. And I thought, wow, there is a need here. So let's go with this. And that's what we've done. We've hit the pavement running since then.
So you also have an interesting journey as well, Ellen. How did you end up here within the autism community?
It was just they came to us and asked us to run this. So I don't have anyone affected by it directly, but again, we're all indirectly affected. So it could be a neighbor, it could be a friend's child, it could be a nephew, a niece. So I think we're all interconnected. And I think when we help these children, we're helping a whole group
Absolutely.
of people with this. So um, yeah, I thought, you know what, let's do this. And it's been great ever since. COVID was a little bit more difficult. That was a little harder. One year we had to pause and we couldn't help families,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But then we decided to go virtual. So we did a few virtual
Nice.
events, and that was well received by the community as well. And we were able to still continue funding the applications that we received. So, yeah, we had to reimagine how this was going to be. And so that's why we went virtual.
Yeah.
And last year we had our first in person gala, and we had over 700 people. So we were so happy to see everyone come back and just want to help again. And yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
very reassuring.
Yeah. So I can resonate with your story too, because for myself too, I don't have any family members who are directly impacted by autism. But it's like you kind of almost you fall into this community, and it's like you catch the bug, and you don't like it. You end up becoming so committed when you start to see the wonderful impact that we can all make when we all come together. And it's amazing what you've done within the organization, starting out with not even maybe not even imagining that you would be here if you look back 10 years
We
ago,
would have
right? Yeah.
never thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know what to expect.
So what's the why for you? Why Why waves of changes for you, Ellen?
Well, I'm in this now, and I actually believe that these children need our help. They do. There isn't enough out there for these children. There isn't enough out there for adults.
Yes.
So that's another problem. See, unfortunately, we can't help as an organization once after 13, but there's a huge need after that. Where do they go? Will people employ them? These children and young adults want to be part of a
Yes.
community. They want to contribute. So I thought, I have to do my best. Um, I just feel compelled that I think that the community needs it. This is what I've come with, and this is where I'm at, and I'm going to continue for as long as I can. And I feel very good about helping these families. I know that there's a lot of need out there, and I want to help.
Amazing. And that's what drives you. And just to emphasize again, this is all volunteer driven. This is really people, including yourself and your entire team, that is so passionate about what you do.
Yeah, they work
And I'm
passionately.
sure
They're
you've
amazing.
seen all sorts of different wonderful things transpire from the work that you guys do, the events, and the impact that you make. Anything that sticks out at you? Any memorable stories that you'd like to share in terms of special moments, celebrations that you as an organization have helped be a part of?
Just knowing that we were able to fund each and every eligible application each and every year is that makes me very proud, and that encourages me to keep going. And but last year we had a wonderful acknowledgement from the Vaughan Chamber of Commerce. We won the nonprofit charity award in Vaughan, so that was extremely special to this team. Um, we work hard, and to be acknowledged by the chamber was wonderful.
Remarkable. Well
I
deserved.
Yeah, it
Well
was. You
deserved.
know what? We the whole team deserved that.
Yeah.
They've worked very hard over the years. They've given it their all. Last year, our MP, Francesco Sobera, also presented Waves of Change with the Queen's Jubilee pin. So these were wonderful little celebrations that, we look at and think, yeah, we really feel good. We did. We do.
Yeah. What do you hear from families that have that have accessed this support, and what does
So
it
much
mean to them?
gratitude. So much gratitude. They can't thank us enough. They send us notes. They send us some progress, like it's wonderful to see.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. They share, a lot of them do. A lot of them do share the progress that their children are making, how happy they are that, waves of changes could have helped with their child's progress. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. So, and again, this is all from grassroots, organization, volunteer driven. And so you guys have I think, a unique lens in terms of what you're seeing in the community and the needs, and talked about a lot of important successes. But you also mentioned Ellen, which I agree with too. We still have a lot of work to do, right? This is what keeps us going. From your vantage point, where do you see some of the gaps? Where can we do better as a community? What do we need to do moving forward, even beyond waves of changes, just from your perspective, because you have a unique perspective seeing, you
Well,
know,
in Vaughan, I think if we can continue with the work we're doing, we can help a lot of children. Um, I do worry about once these children become young adults and adults. I think there isn't enough out there for them. That I think is something that needs to be worked on. And I know a lot of families that, their children are young adults now and are looking into um, what they can do now for their children.
yes,
Yeah. So I've heard, some stories about, people looking into building homes or providing jobs or, that sort of thing. But I think that's where they need to focus too.
absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more. It's a lifelong disorder, and it affects children all the way up to adults.
Yeah, it doesn't end at a
It
certain
doesn't.
age, you know?
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And the kids also there's gaps in kid services too, and we do recognize that. And it also depends on a community level. Certainly, I think, to your point, that there's a call to action in the community that we need to do better for our youth, our teens, and our adults. This is a incredibly important, underserved portion of our community. And as you mentioned, to your point about the wonderful capabilities, I mean, a lot of these young teens, tweens, teens, adults, they work hard when they're kids to develop all these skills that are amazing. And now we
these
need to use it.
individuals on the spectrum are brilliant, and they can do so much given the opportunities. I don't think there's enough opportunities.
And that's it's interesting because there's like a ripple effect to organizations like Waves of Changes where yes, it's important to have a core purpose and a core value and a mission that you're going to be focused on. And I think that's part of your success is being super focused on that and your ability to serve the community in the way that you've chosen. But there's this ripple effect of, okay, now, people come to these events from various parts of the community. And it's eye opening to see, look at all the wonderful things we can do when we all come together. And now, what can other people do? It's a call to action, right? To other uh, parts of the segments of the community to come and help support.
And perhaps look at, these young adults and see how they can best support them as well, you know?
Yes.
These children do grow up to be adults.
I hear this a lot from families, and so certainly there's an important gap there. I also think that there's so many different pieces. One of the pieces that's near and dear to my heart is kids who are on the more moderate to severe needs, and ensuring that we also best offer them opportunities to learn, opportunities to grow, and be a part of the community too. So there's work to be done
Yeah,
within
there
the
is.
community.
Our work is not done.
Yeah.
We need to do a lot more work. And I know as an organization, we will continue our work in Vaughan. Again, Nancy, I'm just a mom. You are on the other side where you can look at all these different individuals and see where the need lies as well. Our charity is mandated by the CRA and they've given us a strict
Yes.
mandate. So children 13 and under only. As far as I understand, and I'm a simpleton when it comes to autism, I'm just a mom helping. So um, I understand that early help is good.
Mhm.
So we're focused with that. So we're focused with these young individual, young children with, their ABA, their occupation, like trying to get them. So that's where we do our good work.
Yeah.
We need to further that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I don't think you're just a mom. I think you're extraordinary in terms of what you do. But yes, absolutely. There is an important element to helping young children at early stages in life and launching them in a really good direction. For sure, hands down, that is a super important area that we can never lose sight of. And then as they grow, there's also important opportunities there that need
Exactly,
to
and I
be
think that
offered.
needs to be addressed. So if it's one thing, I think that would be, necessary.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Point very, very well taken. Tell us about some of the members of your team. Who are they and how did they come to be with all of this?
A lot of them have been, they're friends, and a lot of them have brought on friends, and now we're just one big family. Like I feel so close to these people. Like it's just my Waves family. Um, Waves has become a third child. I have two children. This is my third child. So you nurture it, you grow it, and our ambassadors are amazing. Like I said, Stefano and Clarissa and Robbie, all of them. Um, our team is incredible. We have a marketing and communications team. Um, we have, uh, a group of women that go out and solely bring in their sponsorships and reach the community for that. Um, eh, our volunteers help out in any aspect that we need. We ask and they're there. They're just incredible.
Amazing, amazing, and that you guys have, started with a team and grown it, and they're to the point that people are asking their friends to join, that's
And
how much they
yeah,
believe in this
and
organization.
yeah, and like we have such a huge volunteer team. And I think again, it just speaks to the work we do. People want to come on board, want to help. They truly believe in the cause. So I think, yeah.
Yeah. One of the there's a number of reasons why, I'm so happy to have you on the show today and certainly to share, what Waves of Changes does for the individuals that you serve is an important element of that. Another element that I think is important to share and learn from is, there are people in the community that sometimes wonder, what can I do? Right? I'm somebody that wants to make an impact or help lend a hand within a community. So, for anybody that might be watching and wondering, like, okay, so I understand that there is a variety of needs for individuals on the spectrum and their families, but what can I'm just a regular person and
Call me and I'll make sure I tell you what you can help us with.
amazing,
Yeah,
amazing. So
please
there's
reach out. There's always, we welcome a lot of, people. I wouldn't turn anybody away. As long as everyone, our team we're all like minded individuals. We're here to help children in Vaughan affected by autism. No, so, no other platform, no other hidden agendas. We're all on the same page. And that's what makes this team work so well.
So certainly people there's volunteer opportunities, and then there's opportunities, like what I'm looking forward to, coming to events, that people can participate and share joyous moments through that as well.
And I can assure you, you will. Just, you know, with the entertainment and what goes on at our events, I'm sure you're going to have a wonderful experience and you'll want to come back.
Okay, so you've got your ambassadors, you have your team, and you've got some big events that are planned for the upcoming year. In terms of if families are curious, because all this is all about the families and the kids here, right? So, if I'm a family in need within Vaughan, uh, what do I need to know about your organization? What can I do to help my child?
You know what? Go onto our website, uh, send us a message, and we're here, or call us, and we're here to go over any of your concerns. We can help you, direct you in any way. Our application process is once a year. So it does open in June and it ends in September. So it is only the one time a year, and that's when we accept our applications, and that will be coming up soon. So if they need help, please do visit our website at Waves of Changes for Autism. Go under the application, download it, fill out all your information, meet the criteria that it's asking you for, and send it in, and we'll do the best we can. Every year we try to do the best we can with all our applications. And so far we've been lucky, so we just hope it continues.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's more than luck. I think it's also a lot of, absolutely a lot of work and commitment to a great vision. So families can apply through the website, understanding that there's a window, right, of where
Yes,
that the
our application,
applications.
it's all listed there. The new application is up. It hasn't opened yet. It opens up June 1st. Just to be fair to everybody, June 1st to September
Mhm.
30th. And that's when we ask that they send in all their information and application.
And what can families expect after they've applied in terms of
After September 30th and all our fundraising efforts are completed, then we sit down as a group and we see how much funds we've raised, actually. So from there, we go through all the applications, make sure they're eligible, and try to help each and every one of them. So they will get a pre-authorized letter from the organization that says they've been pre-approved, provided again that they now send us their paid receipts. And that's when their payment will go out to them.
excellent. So that's a good, window into helping families understand,
I know
what
it,
the process
when
is.
um, we've had funding for families from $1,700 all the way to $3,000, depending on our fundraising year. And that's only dependent on the funds we receive. So perhaps some think that, oh, that's not a lot. But I think that any help that we can give them, and if it is just 10 more speech therapy treatments or whatever we can provide for them or reimburse them for, I think we've done our job.
Absolutely. I often tell families when they're struggling with the resources piece, and I wish they didn't have to do that, but this is the reality, unfortunately, that families
It's
have to
very
go through.
costly.
It's really tough
It
for
is.
families.
Yeah.
But I really truly believe as a professional, and not just what I believe, what I've seen is that any amount of meaningful treatment, it can make a massive difference in a child's life and a family's life. You know, you mentioned, for example, even to be able to vocalize something like mama, or if for a child who maybe not vocal, to be able to share a picture of something they need or want, or a family member to express themselves, or using a device, or whatever that might mean. You know, that is a monumental shift for that child, that family. You know, one skill, a skill, can make all the difference in a child's world. And so, no matter what the resources are that are available to families, you know, I often encourage them, make the most, like just, you know, you stretch what you have and you focus on something that's meaningful. And only they can define that really at the end of the day. You know, certainly as professionals, we can give our thoughts in terms of, you know, X, Y, and Z would be important. If you're in a position where you need to prioritize, really sit down and think about what can make the most massive impact to your family. Absolutely.
And we've come across many families with multiple children on the spectrum. So look how difficult that is, you know? Again, we're doing the best we can, and we try to fund everybody equally without bias. Um, we'd hate to choose a child over another. They're all worthy of help. So that's why our team goes out there and works passionately trying to garner more and more um, sponsorship dollars that can help these children. That's what we do as a team.
Very profound thing that you just said. And I really agree with this too, is that there is no way to determine one child's needs versus another. And it doesn't matter what they present with. They all have strengths and they all have needs, right? And each of those children are deserving of an opportunity to learn, to grow, to live their best lives. And it's really amazing that you guys are committed to using the resources in that fashion, right? I don't know how we could ever determine, you know, the levels of needs for different kids.
Thankfully, we haven't had to pick and choose. Um, that would be a sad day. Um, so we just keep working harder and harder.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why, again, the call out to the community is we can all do something here, right? To support kids, families, that we can all do our part, you know?
Every little bit helps. Every
Absolutely.
little bit helps.
And this is also even people who, like, your events are open to obviously like Vaughan, but certainly anybody
Even
who
the
wants
greater, yeah.
the greater Toronto
Yes,
area, people can
absolutely.
come and
Everyone is
celebrate.
welcome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's wonderful. And again, they can find information about that on your
All
website
on the
as well.
website. Our
Yes.
upcoming events are all on the website. Yeah, reach out, call.
So, you know, this is a lot of work for volunteers to be doing. Wonderful, important work. What keeps you going? You know, on those days where you're, okay, I got all these applications, or I got to, like, you know, get this new golfing event, you know, off the ground. What keeps you going, Ellen?
Well, you know what? We have such a large team that different individuals are looking after different things, which is helpful. And but again, we have a common goal. We need to help these children, and I think that's what fuels us. We're here to help. We need to help. These children need our help.
Absolutely. Yes.
We've been blessed in our life, and I believe that we all need to give back in some capacity, and that's why we're here.
That's right. Amazing. And you hear from the families, you hear from the community about the impact that it makes. on on the back end, really, through probably events or you just hear from families.
They reach out. They'll send us notes. They'll send us pictures, videos of what their child's accomplished or how these funds have helped their child. We just had our flag raising in at the city of Vaughan, April 4th, I believe it was, and this is Autism Awareness Month. Um, so we had the flag raising at the city, and we had a few of our children come out and help raise the flag alongside our ambassadors. Um, we had such a nice group of people come out and celebrate with us, and I think that needs to be celebrated. We should be celebrating Autism Awareness Month. We should be raising the flag on behalf of these children and their family. So that was also another nice event. And one of the children that came out, her mom had sent me some information that she was nominated for the Yes I Can award. And then she won. So, these children are so capable. Let's give them those opportunities to achieve that, God given potential, whatever it may be.
Yeah, and I know we had some of our team members come out to the flag
Yeah.
raising event too
Yes.
and said it was a wonderful
And that
success.
was in collaboration with Autism Ontario.
Yes.
And yeah, it was a wonderful day.
Yes, really nice. And an opportunity again to showcase some of the wonderful, abilities, as you mentioned, of individuals on the spectrum. And, looping back to the mission and the vision of Waves of Changes is really in order to get there, there's an important recognition that there needs to be opportunities to get there and that, it does require therapies, some of that, work to get there and then to celebrate it is really like the full circle, to be able to recognize that, okay, here's some wonderful skills that this child has been able to learn and grow and achieve because of waves of changes.
Not to sound boastful, but yeah, we've done some amazing work in the past 7.5 years. And we just want to continue that work.
Absolutely. Well, we are so grateful as a community to have an organization as Waves of Changes is that is it's just remarkable what you guys all do as a team to help the community and you do it in such a meaningful way. And as I've mentioned many times and I'll say it again, I really believe that this serves as an inspiration for what people can do when they are driven by an important purpose and mission and are committed to making it meaningful, that it matters, impactful to the community. I just can't say enough about your organization and
Thank
how
you,
wonderful
Nancy.
they are.
And I want to thank you for allowing us to come here and talk to you on behalf of Waves of Changes. And thank you for giving us this platform to be able to share what we do as an organization as well. And you do some wonderful work as well. And I take my hat off to you.
Thank you. Well, like you said, it takes the community, right? So we all have to do our part and we all play a role.
And, collaboration is key, and we work together.
Absolutely. Well, cheers to your success. You have 8 years under your belt. To 8 plus, I don't know, we
More?
say,
Yeah.
cent'anni,
Yeah.
right? 100 more years to go with the wonderful work that you do. I have no doubt that you will continue on this success. And I, again, encourage all community members that are watching to please support Waves of Changes. Reach out if you're interested in volunteering, if you're interested in contributing, come to one of these super fun events and celebrate with all of us in the community.